Thursday, April 18th, 2019. Attorney General Bill Barr and his deputy, Rod Rosenstein, to release Mueller report this morning. At a press conference this morning, Attorney General Bill Barr mentioned that there was no evidence claiming there was collusion between the 2016 Trump campaign and Russia.
Investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities.
The House Judiciary Committee panel received a copy of the report just a few hours later. Peru's former president, Alan Garcia, died in hospital on Wednesday after shooting himself in the head at his home as police were about to arrest him in a sprawling corruption case. Israel's president on Wednesday formally nominated Benjamin Netanyahu for a fourth consecutive term as prime minister. White House senior advisor Jared Kushner urged a group of ambassadors on Wednesday to keep an open mind about President Donald Trump's upcoming Middle East peace proposal. Kim Jong-un sends message to Trump with military visit. North Korea is signaling a firmer stance towards the U.S. following the breakdown of denuclearization talks, with leader Kim Jong-un visiting a military unit for the first time this year. Kim hadn't visited a military facility since November, when he traveled to a weapons facility to oversee the test of a new tactical weapon. Security analysts saw Mr. Kim's most recent trip as a message to the Trump administration that unless Washington is prepared to compromise on sanctions, Pyongyang can revert to a cycle of confrontation. The U.S. National Transportation Safety Board said on Wednesday it is investigating an April 10th American Airlines flight at JFK that struck an object on takeoff and landed safely about 30 minutes later. Ivanka Trump said Wednesday she had turned down her father's offer to lead the World Bank and wouldn't reveal whether he'd approached her about any other jobs in his administration. Attorney General Bill Barr on Tuesday struck down a decision that had allowed some asylum seekers to ask for bond in front of an immigration judge. Trump administration announces new measures against Cuba. The Trump administration levied new sanctions on Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua on Wednesday in a vow to combat socialism, communism, and human rights abuses. The heaviest measures were directed at Cuba. The administration is now reimposing limits on the amounts of money that Cuban Americans can send to relatives on the island, as well as the frequency of transactions. New sanctions also were announced against people and entities in Venezuela and Nicaragua. New York City inches closer to adopting a 5-cent paper bag fee. A burglar who was caught on video before breaking into a Midtown Manhattan building through an open window got away with more than $50,000 in valuables. Prisoners looking for a second chance will face less opposition from Brooklyn prosecutors when requesting parole under a new program that aims to lower mass incarceration rates.